I delivered Doordash full time for 1 month straight and made $7,275.24. And in today's video, I'm going to go over all of the numbers, miles, gas, food, all of the expenses it takes to make that much money in 1 month doing food delivery. Now that I have returned back to Las Vegas, I was able to crunch all of the numbers on my laptop here, and I made a nice little spreadsheet of everything that happened, so let's dive into these. I kept track of each week that I was out in California. I delivered in 4 different cities: Woodland Hills, Torrance, Orange County, and San Diego. And here is a collection of all of those deliveries and what my full expenses are. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on each column, what each of these are, but I'll give you the snapshot of each week so you can see what I made per week in each city, and then I'll go over a snapshot of the entire month of what all of the earnings were. So week 1 was Woodland Hills. I did 86 deliveries in Woodland Hills and made $2,005.08. I drove a total of 850.8 miles, and that gives me an average of $2.36 per mile. The dash time was 79 hours. Active time was 39 and a half hours. That averaged us at $23.31 per order, and I spent $198.97 on gas, and my food and miscellaneous cost came out to $234.82, which we walked away with $1,571.29 out of Woodland Hills. Torrance, I did 83 deliveries, made $1,662.35, traveled 596 and a half miles, averaged $2.79 per mile, was online for 79.45 minutes, and active time was 32 hours, averaged $20.03 per order, and spent a total of $171.32 in gas, and the food expenses and miscellaneous came out to $223.36, walking away with $1,267.67. Orange County was not that good of a week. I got a little bit sick, so the orders kind of dropped at this point. Did 63 orders, made $1,157.93, drove a total of 713.8 miles, averaged $1.62 per mile, was online for 59 and a half hours, and was active for 26 of those hours. We averaged $18.38 per mile, spent $208.30 on gas, and the miscellaneous and food expenses were $275.69. My front brakes also started to give the little sound as I was out there, so I had to get my front brakes and rotors replaced, which cost $354.64. So after all expenses out of Orange County, we walked away with $319.30. Sad face. San Diego did 64 deliveries, made $1,387.69, drove a total of 610 miles and 610.6 miles, averaged $2.27 per mile, was online for 68 and a half hours, and was active for 31 and a half of those hours. Averaged $21.68 per order. The gas expense was $279.05, and the miscellaneous and food expense was $499.55. Don't ask me, I splurged a little bit on that week. We ended the week at $609.09. Now, altogether, for me being out there for 28 days and delivered 27 of those days, I did 296 deliveries. I earned $6,213.05. I drove 2,771 miles, 0.7. I averaged $2.24 per mile. The dash time was 286.75 hours. Active time was 129 hours. I averaged $20.99 per order. The gas cost was $857.64. The food and miscellaneous cost was $1,233.42, and getting the brakes fixed cost $354.64, with a total cost of $2,445.70, which means we walked away with a profit of $3,767.35. But there's more, right? There's taxes and all of that extra goodiness. So I did the due diligence of seeing what the taxes would be for me on earning $6,213.05. Because I make X amount of money in a year, I get taxed X amount in Nevada, and my tax bracket that I have to pay is 22%. Now, I recommend just setting aside 30% just to make life easy so you're not nickel and diming yourself right to the penny when it comes to tax season, right? So, but for shits and giggles, I put it right at 22% to see exactly what the amount would be taxable and that I would owe Uncle Sam here. So because we deliver food and we can write off the miles on our car, that's what I choose to do. So I did 2,771.7 miles, and we get to write off 65.5 cents per mile. So that equates to $1,815.46. So I can take my income, the gross, 6213.05, and minus the 1815.46, which leaves me 4,397.59. And that's my physical taxable income. Uncle Sam can slap his fingers and touch, he can get a piece of the cookie of that one. And he gets 22% of that. So 22% of 4397.59 is 967.47. So you take the 967.47 and minus it from the 4397.59, and that leaves me $3,430.12. And that's what I get to take home for myself, which is nice. That's not too bad for 28 days on the road, driving around, having fun, eating, just doing the deed. And if you want to break it down to what I got paid per hour, if you are in a W-2 mindset, I worked 286.45 hours by leaving the app on, and I made $21.67 per hour by, turning an app on. Now, my physical active time of me driving around, like going to a location, dropping the food off, all of that was 129 active hours, which comes out to about $48.16 per hour. Hey, not too shabby for 27 days of work and taking one day off. So the amount of money that came in was $6,213.05. The amount of money that went out was $3413.17, and I got to walk away with $2,799.88 in 28 days delivering food for Doordash. Now that's not all. That doesn't come out, 6213 doesn't come out to, the 7,200 that I was telling you about, 7,275.24. That comes from October 30th to December 3rd, which includes all of the weeks of November, and it's pretty much a rolling 5 weeks. So in that time period of from October 3rd to December 3rd, delivering Doordash and delivering a little bit Uber Eats, I made $7,275.24. This is what I made per week, and this is the final total. This is also the Uber Eats earnings right there if you want to pause it and look at those numbers. But the amount of time I was online with the apps for that amount from October 30th to December 3rd was 335 hours and 48 minutes. And the amount of active time that I was actually physically moving was 147 hours and 15 minutes. And yeah, I'd say that's not too bad to make $7,275.24 and be free from having anybody tell you what to do. And that was my experience delivering for 1 month straight from Doordash and a little bit of Uber Eats in there. I know other people's experiences are going to be different. Everybody has a different life. Everybody has a different city to drive in, different locations to pick up from, but I am very happy with those results. And I hope you guys are out there setting goals, smashing those goals, and making a positive impact on the choices that you make. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care of yourselves and be positive out there.